Good evening, everybody. Hi there, Manny here. I'm going to get us set up here, so give me 1 sec while I'm getting everything squared away for you guys. Okay, can you guys hear me all right? This is going to be the chat. I'm going to open up the chat for you guys because sometimes when I'm talking, you guys may have a question on a certain topic. And we are live today, okay? So this is not a recorded call. So can you just see this? Okay, so again, I'm Manny Fabriker. I'm with College Planning ABC. I am here in the Bay Area in San Jose, California. So you guys, I got Amy from Salinas. Hi, Amy. So where else are you guys from? LA. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Commerce, Petaluma. Hey, on the other side of the bay. Okay, Ramona, great. Okay, so let's get started here. All right, today, this talk here is going to be about 60 minutes. And I'm going to go through a lot of content. I'm going to go very, very fast. And I'm going to give you guys a lot of information. So please take some notes, have a piece of paper and a pen ready. And if you guys have any questions about certain things, please ask me. I'm going to shut one thing off here. So 1 sec, okay? Okay. 3 points that we're going to cover today is how to get into your top college, how to get massive discounts, and how to position yourself and your student into the best college possible. So the problem that many people have is that, how to get your kids into the best colleges in the United States, and how do we do this without damaging everything that you have for retirement? So today's call is going to be valued at $40,000 for free. You may be saying, "How does that work? How is this call valued at $40,000? It's like impossible, right?" Well, I'm going to give you guys a bonus. If you hang with me until the end of this call, I'm going to give you guys a secret list. And this secret list has over 1,500 colleges that you guys could apply to and go for free. So, how many guys would like that list? Any guys interested in going to colleges for free and getting free tuition? Raise your hand, say hello, yes or not. Okay. Brazilian, awesome. Great. So I will give you that. If you hang with me to the end, I'll give you guys all this bonus. Hi, Ramona. So I have a cousin named Ramona. So anyway, okay, college expensive. Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about this and how this works. The average public university cost, if we're looking at public schools, is roughly going to be $28,000 to $38,000 a year. So these colleges here, the CSU system is about 28, the UC system is about 38,000 a year. What about the private universities? If you guys are looking at private schools, and we're looking at, let's say, LMU, because you're in LA. We got Santa Clara in the Bay Area. We may have University of San Diego. These costs are roughly going to be ballpark about 68 to 72,000 a year. Yikes! It's a lot of money. But how many guys are looking at private universities like Stanford, Harvard, Yale, Brown? How many guys are looking at those colleges? Anybody? Okay. Look at this cost. You guys be prepared. It is $73,000 to $80,000 per year. So let's do some homework here. Let's talk about it. When you're looking at this cost at $80,000 a year, let's just say, let's multiply that by 4 years. So like 4 years of college. And let's now multiply that by how many kids you guys have. The question I have for you is, do you guys have all that money for college? Yes or no? How many of you guys have all that money? If you do, great, congratulations. But most families don't have all the money. You'd have to sacrifice maybe putting money into your retirement accounts or even use your retirement accounts to pull out to pay for college. And that is not the ideal situation. So let's do some homework here. So who am I? Okay, why should you listen to me? Again, my name is Manuel Fabriker. I'm with College Planning ABC. I've been doing college planning now for the past 15 years. So this is a picture of my family. It's a little bit older photo, but I started this business with my beautiful bride, Romina, 15 years ago. This year will be my 16th year. And I have 2 kids. My daughter is now 19, and my son is 16. And my daughter is a sophomore in college, going to be a junior, and my son is a junior in high school. So time passes fast. So not only have I helped 5,000 plus families in this process, but have also got my own kids into college as well. And I'll share that whole thing with you. So my daughter is attending University of San Francisco. That is actually my alma mater. That's where I went to college. So I graduated in finance and economics from USF. And my daughter's doing the same thing. So she's getting in business communications major there. So I am a big advocate of cancer societies and fundraising for cancer to eradicate this disease. Like, why? Why do I do that? Because a few years back, I showed you a picture of my family here. My beautiful bride passed away of a rare form of cancer called Phyllodes tumor. So I do a lot of fundraising. I do a lot of things to promote, awareness of breast cancer and just to help the cause. So I'm a big advocate for that. I got very, very passionate about college planning, like my second year in the business. And the second year biz, I got a phone call from Cliff. And Cliff calls me up and he says, "Hey, Manny, can I talk to you real quick? Can you please call me back? It's an emergency. Please call me back." I said, "Okay." So I call him back up. I said, "Hey, Cliff, how are we doing? I got your message. How can I help you?" He says, "Manny, you know what? I got bad news." I said, "What's that?" He goes, "Manny, I'm actually dying. I thought I had gout and my foot turned black. I went to the doctor and they told me I have a rare form of leukemia." And I said, "Oh," my heart just sank. And he says, "Manny, you're the first person I called and I needed a favor. I needed your help." And he says, "My son got into University of Pacific Dental School for the pre-dental program, and he got to the accelerated 6-year program, and I need your help and with your help to guide my wife and my son through this process for him to become a dentist. Because education means the world to me, my family, my son, and that is my last dying wish for you. Can you help me?" I said, "Absolutely, like Cliff, like whatever it is, I will do it for you. You just tell me and I will do it." And I said, "Okay, fine." So basically I walked into the whole process and they went in, he's done with college now and I fulfilled his dying wish. But at that moment, I realized that, wow, what I do for a living and the things that I know and how to help families, I could make a huge impact in their life and I could help their children get to that next level of success for them. And for me, that was such an honor and a privilege to have this opportunity. And I got really, really excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, how many parents are out there who value education, who want to give their kids the best, and just want the best help possible? I said, I could change the world with this whole thing. And I went out and started doing it. So I wrote this book a while back, and I hit #1 on the release on Amazon. And it wasn't going to be this best-selling author. That wasn't my goal. My goal and my intention was really just, you know what, I wanted to just get this book out, give it to people, because what happened was, like, my wife was diagnosed with cancer, and I needed to stay home. I needed to take care of her. A lot of people wanted to see me and talk to me. I said, I don't have all the time. I will give you this book. Go ahead, read the book. If it resonates with you, call me back, then we'll talk. And I'm blessed to say, hey, I hit #1 on Amazon release, and this little book got me in a lot of different things as well. So I've been on national media. I've been on CBS daytime show. I've been on NBC. I've been on Fox TV. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, all right? But hey, I've been on Fox TV. I've also been on, if you're in the Bay Area, ABC Channel 7 with Michael Finney. So I was on his show. He interviewed me for a half hour, and this got syndicated all over the Disney Channel. So that was pretty awesome because I didn't know Disney owns ABC 7. So that was great. So I had a lot of exposure just being on the station. I've had a lot of exposure as well. U.S. News Report, Money Magazine, CNN, Wall Street Journal. You name it, I've been there. I've met a lot of people just doing college. People like Gene Simmons, Anthony Hopkins, Jason Alexander, Seinfeld, people from professional athletes as well. I've met and spoke at Harvard a few times at the Business Expert Forum. I've met Suzanne Summers, the world's most interesting man, which is that Dos Equis gentleman. You've seen his commercials, says "Stay thirsty, my friends." Jonathan Goldstein from the Dos Equis commercial. I was on stage with him. Also, I had the opportunity to speak at Coca-Cola for the employees there in Atlanta, and actually got me to speak at the NASDAQ exchange. And my claim to fame is I'm the only college punter in America that had the opportunity to speak at NASDAQ. So that's me, my book in front of New York Times Square, NASDAQ exchange. So there I am. This opportunity led me to go and speak at Carnegie Hall, and I met Martha Stewart and had the opportunity to speak with her and get to know her a little bit and her journey and rise back to fame after her little vacation. So when I went to college, I didn't have a lot of money. My parents were broke. My mom was a teacher. She taught the 3rd grade, and she worked another job at the bank. And my father was a laborer. So my father just worked at this company called National Semiconductor. And, although my parents, my mom was educated in the Philippines, but came here, she was a teacher. We didn't have a lot of money. And my dad just worked the lines in the manufacturing. So, we didn't have a lot of money, disposable income to send me to college. And I'm the first one to go to college. So I ended up taking a lot of debt. I took over $60,000 student loan debt. And that was a huge mistake because I didn't know the whole process. I didn't know how this worked. I didn't know how this whole thing, how to get myself in, how to get all these discounts, what the deadlines were. So there was this crazy maze that I needed to figure out. And I was lost. My mom was lost. My mom was frustrated. So I made all these mistakes. So I know a lot of parents are worried and stressed out about college, and I understand that. But my goal is to help you guys through this process and help you guys relieve the stress. Sometimes there'll be stress also with your kids in the household, like all good intentions, but sometimes your kids don't want to listen to you anymore. Anybody there yet where all great things, all good intentions, you want to help your kids, but your kids don't want to listen to you anymore? Anybody there and can relate to that? Like they just don't want your help, right? Like, mom, dad, don't worry about it. I got it. Just leave me alone. Anybody feel that way? So raise your hand if you do, right? I get it. I totally understand. So college is different than it was 20, 25 years ago, maybe when you guys went to college, right? It's this whole crazy maze of how things have changed. Because you can't say today that college is the same thing that it was 20, 25 years ago when you went to college. So it hasn't. I graduated in 1996 with over $60,000 of student loan debt. It's very, very different from 1996. And maybe you graduate sooner or later than me, but it's very, very different. So, I didn't understand the process. And I'm going to share mistakes that I've made so you guys don't have to make the same mistake, right? $60,000 doesn't sound like a lot of money today, but that was in 1996. So if you have today's dollars, that's more than double, would you say? So guys, that's over $120,000, and I'm a broke kid. My parents did not have any money. I'm the first one to go to college. So, that was a ton of money, and I was able to pay it off fortunately within 3 years after graduation. So I know a lot of you guys, I told you this is an hour talk, but if you guys can't hang with me till the end, I want you to go ahead and screenshot this right here, right? Go ahead and screenshot this page, okay? Here's what you want to do. You could go to collegegamechanger.com, and you'll be able to download some information, and you'll be able to book an appointment with me if you cannot stay until the very, very end, okay? So you could go to collegegamechanger.com, or you can call my office, email my staff, and they will go ahead and book you an appointment. But you could book your appointment yourself right now if you wanted to. collegegamechanger.com. You'll scroll down. You can download my book. You can download all this other stuff. You're good. Oh, by the way, Ninja, I'm going to give you a copy of my book for free today. So you can go to get a copy of my book right here, and you download the PDF version. All righty? Okay, so let's move on. So right now, college admissions is totally changing. How so? Is because the SATs and ACTs, like right now, currently, if you're in California and you're looking at SATs and ACTs, you don't need them for the UC colleges anymore. Okay, that's great. There's tests optional. Okay, so what's going on is because of COVID, right? A lot of things have changed. College admissions is changing as we speak today. So right now at the UC schools and you're in California, you don't need to worry about it. However, if you're going to private colleges, you will still take an SAT or ACT. If you're going to out-of-state colleges, out of California, you will still take an SAT, okay? So you're not out of the woods yet. If your student is looking to go out of state, you want to take an SAT or ACT. Some of the schools, some of your high schools will be administering your tests, and some will not. Some we have to wait till maybe the early fall. And in my opinion, I know a lot of the SATs are canceled at the moment, but they will be opening up most likely in the fall. Okay, once everybody gets vaccinated, they'll be opening stuff up, and they've got a better system doing it. But that's my opinion. I think that's how it's going to work there in the future in the fall. So if you're a high school junior, going to be a senior, if you can't take it now and your school's not administered, then you have to wait till the fall and see how that goes. Worst case scenario, if you're not able to take these exams, then you're going to go test optional. And what that basically means is with the test optional is you don't have to take a test. They're going to be going off of your GPA. They'll be looking at the essays. They're looking at your coursework, okay, and maybe letter recommendations for you guys. So that's what they'll be looking at. But which means right now, if you're a junior or sophomore, how many guys are juniors and sophomores? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you guys are currently high school junior or sophomore family. Okay, great. Basically, here's what you guys are going to do. You want to make sure that your student is taking the right classes this next upcoming year, because the classes that your student takes this upcoming year is going to impact their college admissions. And what colleges are looking for are students who are going to take more rigorous coursework. That's how that's going to be. Okay, they don't want you to take regular classes anymore, because if they're waiving an SAT or ACT, you have to do more academic classes, more rigorous coursework for you. Okay, so that's what they're going to be doing. So let's take a look at this. How do we start studying for these exams? Okay, well, you could go online through Khan Academy. Okay, you could go get a book at the bookstore. You could do, College Board has practice exams online. There's 6 practice exams that College Board has. So there's stuff you could buy online. There's tutor programs you could go to. Those tutor programs are quite expensive, right? $1,500 to $3,000 for a tutor program. That's kind of expensive, but that's what it is. There's software programs you can buy between $200 to $600. Sure, that works out. Or you just go buy a book, right? Go get a book on Amazon or whatnot, or rent it from the library. You could do that as well. And again, worst case scenario, if your student is not a good test taker, you guys, you could do a test optional program. So secret number 1, finding the right college that can pay you some money. So how do we do this? Okay, we're going to look at academics. We're going to look at a financial aid formula. We're going to be looking at high merit or high need-based schools. So when you're going through this process, we have to look at the holistic approach, not just like the brand name of the school, not just, a local school. We have to look at everything if you are looking for money. Okay. So that's how that's going to work. So make sure we're looking at all these three things and understand the type of colleges that you're going to. Are they high merit aid? Are they high need based aid? Are they both? For example, let me give you something. Stanford, if we're looking at Stanford, you guys, Stanford is only a need-based college. They don't give you guys any scholarships for your 4.8 GPA. They're only going to give you need-based awards. So if you don't qualify for the financial aid there, unfortunately, you're not going to get any money. So we have to look at that beforehand, and that's the smart play, is understanding how these colleges operate and how they're going to view your financial aid formula. Okay? So let's look at admissions. Admissions, we have to keep this very, very organized, keep this simple. We'll just use a spreadsheet. Okay, stay on top of dates. And there's different dates that you'll be looking at. Okay, early action, early decision, regular decision, enrolling. Okay, so stay on top of these dates. Each college has a different one. Look at the requirements. What do they need? Are you the applications, the essays, recommendations, resumes, transcripts, interviews? All the SAT 2s are all gone. So you don't need to worry about subject tests anymore. Okay, so that's gone. I'll change that out. But also college specific applications. If you're looking at scholarships, you want to make sure that you apply to the scholarships in addition to. Now, after everything's said and done, like after you apply to a college in the fall, you're going to start getting admissions starting in December. And that'll be like an early decision, early action. You're going to be notified. But usually, like right now, if you're, do I have any seniors here? Any seniors right now on the call? If you are, okay, great. You guys are like waiting, right? You're hearing a few things. You're waiting for admissions. You're waiting for financial aid and housing applications. Okay, all these things are happening right now over the next month, month and a half. But by first week of April, you're gonna have all your admissions. Okay, all your admissions will be coming in by first week of April. And then later on, after everything's said and done, you have to commit by May 1st. So May 1st, you have to commit to a college, yes or no, and that's how that is. And then later on, you send your your transcripts to the college once you finally make that decision. So rule of thumb, you guys, be an educated consumer. Look at the top-down approach. You're gonna probably apply to anywhere between 12 to 15 colleges. And you gotta you gotta visit a college somehow, whether it be an online thing or you're gonna do your own self-guided tours. Because right now colleges are not doing tours; you have to do them on your own. And you got to make sure the colleges want you. Like, where are you in the range of admissions and understanding how these colleges admitted students over the previous years? Then does your student fall within that range of college admissions? Okay, so those are the rule of thumb that you have to understand. Here's secret number 2, the magic formula. Okay, cost of attendance minus EFC equals need, minus resources equals a modified need. So here's an example. If the cost of attendance is 36,000, if your EFC stands for expected family contribution. I also like to call this expected family confusion because everybody gets lost. So if you have a need of 16,000, if you got a scholarship, the college is gonna give you, take that back and say, hey, here's your modified need of 14,000. So in this formula, you can only change one thing. You can only change your expected family contribution. That's all you could change. Okay. The need is the same. The cost of tenants is going to be the same. Okay. So the EFC wise, here's what you could do. With the EFC, you have to figure out how can we lower our EFC? Because that's the only thing that you can control. The lower the EFC, the higher the need. The higher the need, the more money you can receive. Does that make sense? So again, how do we lower EFCs? It's going to be income and asset planning, okay, 2 years prior. So my high school sophomore families, where's my high school sophomore families again? You guys here, where you at? Raise your hand. High school sophomore folks, raise your hand. Tell me where you at. You guys, this is a time for you parents to really understand your financial position. because the financial calculation is going to be changing your year. So right now, 2022 class, you're going to be fine. It'll follow this one. But in 2023, it's going to change. And basically what that is they're going to be looking at different things. It's not called EFC. It's going to be a student affordability index. And they'll be looking at different things. They'll be taking out a few things, but adding a few things back, right? So I'm not going to confuse you on this point right now, but we will talk about that. If you are a high school sophomore family, this is a good time for you to understand, because it's the beginning of the financial year, for you to understand your financial position and what is your income going to look at for this 2021 year, and what can you do to maximize all your financial resources and free money for college. So how and why do we apply for aid? So my seniors are already done with financial aid, but my juniors and sophomores, you really don't apply for financial aid until the senior year, the fall. And you're going to fill out a FAFSA form. Everybody fills out FAFSA. If you're going to private colleges, you fill out a CSS profile. If you're going to Ivy League schools, you also fill out a college institutional forms. Like UPenn has a Penn Form 6, okay? If you run a business of any type, they're going to ask you for a business and farm supplement. If you are divorced, they're going to ask you a divorce and separation agreements. You're like, well, why do I need to give them my divorce decree separation agreement? They are looking for your money. Like, hey, mom, dad, what's going on? Does your ex-spouse have to pay for college? Is there a college fund set up somewhere? What's going on? Who has to pay for what? And how's this going to work for you guys? So that's why they're going to ask you that, especially at your higher tier colleges, like your Stanford, your Harvard, Yale type thing. For sure, they're asking that kind of information for you. So case study, lesser schools, school A and school B. So at school A, the cost of college is $70,000. At school B, it's $35,000. So this is a private school versus a public school. In this example, this is USC, so University of Southern California, versus UCLA here. So school A, $70,000 at USC. The EFC is 20. We're going to keep the EFC the same. So your EFC at USC is 20,000. The EFC at UCLA is 20,000. But your need is different. You have a financial need of $50,000 at USC. At UCLA, you have a $15,000 need. What you need to understand is at USC, at school A, it's 100% need met in an 80-20 split. So that means like 80% of your need is going to be free, and 20% is going to be self-help, which is student loans and work study. Versus at UCLA, it's a 60%, 50-50 split. And here's the opportunity you get to have. At the end of the day, okay, you get this. Would you like to pay at USC $30,000 a year, or would you like to go to UCLA and pay $32,000 a year? Which college would you guys like to go to? You know what, you guys, it doesn't matter anymore, right? Whether it be USC or UCLA, it's relatively the same price within a few $1,000s. But how many of you folks out there would like to have the opportunity of going to a fancy private school for the same or less than a public college, than a UC school? Raise your hand if you guys want that opportunity. Raise your hand. You guys, absolutely. You'd be foolish. You'd be foolish not to even want this opportunity. Whether you like UCLA or USC or not, it doesn't matter. But the opportunity is you get to go to a fancy private school, the same or less. This is like buying a Mercedes, a Lexus, a BMW, maybe even a Tesla for that matter, for the same price as Honda or Toyota. Guys, is that a good deal? Heck yeah, I would love to do that. I'd love to get me a Tesla for the same price as a Honda all day long, right? I don't have a Tesla yet, but yes, all day long, right? So that's the opportunity that you guys could have. And what you have to understand here is understanding the college's financial aid system, and that some of these private schools, even though they're more expensive, could give you more money in financial aid in terms of need-based aid and merit-based aid based on your situation. And that what that does is lower the cost of your attendance at that school and gives you the same opportunity and level them playing field. Okay, so that's what this does. So it's really understanding how these colleges operate. And the point being is, don't shy away from private school, you guys. Don't shy away. Okay, so take a look at this and still apply to private schools and keep that on the list and keep these colleges as a consideration. So secret number 3, positioning and case studies. This is how colleges operate. So what we're doing in this positioning is looking at colleges' missions, the rankings, the competition for students, the net tuition revenue, need for diversity, persistence, and graduation rates. These are all the colleges get ranked. Like when you guys are looking at ranking systems, you're looking at US News Report, the FISC guide, Peterson's guide, right? You're looking at all these different things online. Okay, so you're there. What you'll find out is when you're looking at all these different ranking systems, that one of the colleges, for say a US News Report, is ranking totally different on another site. Absolutely. So that's how that works. Okay. So sorry. Hey, Lisa. Yeah. Um, what is if your EFC is $70,000? Yeah, that is high. But it depends on what college you're going to. So there are ways for you to lower your EFC strategically. And also there are ways in looking at different colleges that regardless of your EFC that you could get money. So let me show you some case studies and hang tight. Okay, Lisa? Alrighty. So let's move on. So since 1980s, guys, the ball game is totally different. You guys, when you guys went to college, you cannot tell me that 20, 25, 30 years ago, that college is the same. It is not the same. Okay? It is totally different than when you guys went to college. This is totally different for you guys if you guys are from another country. If you guys migrated from like Asia, my parents we're Filipino, right? So like, hey, they migrated from the Philippines. It's different in the Philippines than it is in the United States. If you're from China, if you're from India, if you're from the UK, if you're from Canada, you guys, the education system at those countries are totally different than here. It is not the same. Okay. So what has happened if you guys went to college in the United States? What has happened in the past? In the 80s, here's what happened. It's a system of enrollment management. How many guys are engineers? Do I have any engineers in the house here? Any engineers here? Raise your hand if you guys are engineer, mathematical background. Cool. You guys, here's what we're doing. This is my niche, and this is what I am famous for, is understanding how this works. So Alex, check this out. Okay, here's what we're doing. We're doing some data mining. We're doing logistical regression. We're doing table analysis, and we're doing statistical analysis all day, all night long, all on the back end, and all on your case. You guys, how many of you guys believe that college is a business? Raise your hand if you guys believe college is a business. You guys, college is a business. They don't do this for free, right? They are marketing to you guys, and they charge you a pretty penny to go to college. College is not free. You have to pay, right? You got to pay something for college. So let's talk about this. So in higher education, enrollment management is really the strategic and selecting some offers of what colleges do to shape the incoming freshman class in furtherance of institutional goals, right? Basically, in essence, the college is looking at this and saying, hey, this is a business. How do I maximize my revenue as a business? And how do I recruit the best talent to come to my college? I'm still willing to give out grants and scholarships and so forth, but how do I get the best student to come with the least out of my pocket, right? And they built a brand around this, right? So you guys look at Stanford, USC, Harvard and things like that. That's the brand, right? They built up a brand in the educational world of having the best educational institutions around, correct? Sure. And you guys they could charge more for that because they can. It's Harvard or it's Stanford, correct? Right? They're the best. So since they're the best, they could charge more for it. So let's take a look at this. Everybody does this practice of enrollment management. So let me ask you something. How many guys are seniors or juniors right now that are starting to get mail from colleges that you never ever heard of, right? They started mailing to you, emailing to you guys, and they say, hey, apply to my college. How in the heck did they do this? College Board. College Board sold your name. Common Application sold your name, right? That's why they email you and they mail you to death because Common App, College Board sold your info, right? They sold the info to the colleges and they're marketing back to you. And that's how it is, right? Now, colleges, if a college really, really wants you guys, let me tell you what some of these guys do. They're going to take a look at your information and say, hey, if I have your address already, okay, I could take a look at your housing value. right? They could go to Zillow.com, Redfin.com. They could put in your address, your zip code, and they could figure out what the average valuation of your home is. Okay, they can do that. What else can they do? Based on your zip code, the college could do an income demographic check and figure out based on your zip code what the average income is in your neighborhood. If you're at a public high school, the public schools, the colleges get the information, the Freedom of Information Act for a university, they can get your students' GPA if you're at a public high school. So they have your GPA because you're a public high school. If you're at a private high school, they cannot get your GPA, okay? But they get some test scores. If your kid took the SAT or ACT, they're going to buy your SAT or ACT score. So they have your GPA, your SAT score, ACT score. They have the home value, and they roughly round about your income based on your neighborhood. Okay. What else do they need for you guys? They have your number before you even come to their college. Before you apply to their college, you guys, they already know if you could qualify or not based on your income and your house value, your students' GPA and SAT scores. Isn't that insane? That's crazy. All right, you guys. Well, welcome to college. This is the deal. This is how they're doing it now. Okay. So let's look at some high cases here, some case studies. So Nancy at Cal High, she came to me. She was a junior going to senior year. She has a 4.3, a 33 on the ACT. We had really good math score at an 800, a 1330 on the SAT. Dad is an engineer over at Apple. So he's an Apple engineer, makes $265,000. Mom is a part-time accountant. They have some cash. They have some mutual funds. They have some stocks. Okay. Applied to 10 colleges. The EFC was 119. So here's what happened for them. So they come to me and they said, hey, Manny, my daughter wants to be an engineer. My wife and I went to UC Davis. We want our daughter to go to UC Davis or another UC school and major in engineering. And we'd love to get some help. And they said, we were referred by our doctor, and our doctor told us that you could help us save some money and get some discounts on college. So how can you help us? I said, okay, great. Let me tell you how this works. So one, I could definitely show you how to gain admissions to your colleges. And I can tell you something right here. Based on your daughter's GPA and SAT scores, she's going to get into a UC school somewhere, okay? But I do have bad news for you. He says, what's that bad news? You're not going to get any financial aid at a UC college because your income is $265,000. So unfortunately, your income's too high, but I can show you where to apply and how to get massive discounts at other colleges. And he goes, okay, well, how does that work? I said, okay, great. You're going to apply to large, small, public, private, in-state, out-of-state, and rival colleges. So let me repeat that. Large, small, public, private, in-state, out-of-state, and rival colleges. If you apply in this fashion, you're going to be able to save a boatload of money, and you're going to get some massive discounts. She goes, okay, great, let's do it. So we went through this process, and this is what happened for them. Okay, so she got to 8 to 10 colleges. We got to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. We got to some private colleges. How many of you guys know about Cal Poly San Luis Obispo? Is that a good college for engineering? Engineering Cal Poly, you guys know about that? You guys, that's a great college, man. That's an awesome college for engineering, top in the state of California, nationally ranked school for engineering. But what's the bad part about Cal Poly? The bad part about Cal Poly is that you cannot change your major. Like, once you declare your major at Cal Poly, that's it. Like, that's it. You can't change. So she applied under mechanical engineering. And I said, hey, what do you know about mechanical engineering? She said, nothing. I said, so why'd you apply to mechanical engineering? She said, it sounds cool. And I'm like, okay, great. So we ended up applying to Santa Clara. We ended up getting to Santa Clara. And Santa Clara gave us a free tuition waiver for 4 years. 4 years free tuition, folks. So we paid less than a state university. We only paid $15,000 a year to go to Santa Clara University and a private school. Now, one great thing about Santa Clara University was that she was able to move around and explore the different areas of engineering and get a feel for it all before she really committed to her major by the second year. And get this, let me tell you a story. So she graduates 4 years from Santa Clara, no debt, okay? And she gets 2 great job offers. One was at HP and the other was Square.com. And at the end of the day, she ended up choosing Square.com. And she graduated in 2015. And guess what? That was a year that Square.com went public. And now, she's got thousands of dollars of shares. Her net worth is now over $6 million, right? And she's like 28 years old. Isn't that awesome? Oh my goodness, what an opportunity that is for her, right? So my point is, did she like make it big at Google, or like did she go to Stanford? No, she doesn't have a master's degree. She has an undergraduate computer engineering from Santa Clara, and she ended up working at a great startup at the time that went public, and she struck it rich, right? So she's doing great financially, and that was her story. So Daniel at Bellarmine. Bellarmine is this private boys' school here in the area. It's a prep school. So they come to me and said, "Man, we want some help. My son's at a private school. We don't make a lot of money. Our income's like 68,000. And we're average student. We're not like a spectacular student. We're not a rocket scientist. We're not planning on going to MIT. We're 3.4, 1280 SAT score." Says, "We'd like the opportunity to go to private schools if we can." And I said, "Okay, great. Let me show you how to do this. You're going to be a need-based candidate. We have to find the right fit for you." So we went through this process. We applied to all these colleges, and this is what happened for them. We end up going to the University of San Francisco for the same price as what they're paying for Bellarmine. So we got a ton of money. Our total, we got some loans, some grant. We got to pay some of the stuff back. But the total was over $50,000 out of pocket. Was the same price they paid for private high school. If you're in a private high school right now, how many guys would like to pay the same price as your private school? Like, that's huge. That's huge. Sometimes you guys may pay less. You may pay less, okay, going to these private colleges. Like right now, I have a phone call from a client that I spoke to today. The son got into Gonzaga University and got over half tuition. And with the half tuition, that is actually less than what they're paying right now at their private high school, and they're at Harker in the Bay Area. So they're paying like $40,000 to go to Harker, and they got to Gonzaga, and they got a half off, right? That's huge, huge for them. So Jennifer at Santa Teresa, bio pre-med. So she wants to become a doctor. 3.86, 1530 on the SAT scores. We have income at 110,000. We have some investments at 160 and 150 in home equity. Our initial ESC was 34,000. We're able to lower the ESCs to 29,000. So we ended up going to UNC Chapel Hill. We got a Carolina grant. We got some loans. We get the opportunity to go to a tier 1 private school, you guys. If you know about UNC Chapel Hill, that is like a public Ivy League college, right? It's like a UC Berkeley here in California. And we're going for $17,000 a year. Dad gets retired in 2.5 years. We saved over $62,000 over 4 years. Like awesome, awesome, awesome opportunity. Okay. So Steve at Wickmore in San Francisco. We got business pre-med major, 4.67, almost perfect score, a 35 out of 36. We initially applied to 26 colleges. Income is 102,000. We have some investments. We have some home equity. We have some real estate. We have some 529 plans. They inherited this money, okay, from grandma, right? So 2 members of the family, 1 in college. So here's what happened for them. We go through this process, and here's what happened. So we end up going to USC. We did some planning. We got some grants. We got some scholarships. At the end of the day, we're going to pay $35,000, right? Same price as a UC. Mom was retiring 3 years earlier. Moms, how many guys would like the opportunity to retire at least 3 years earlier? Right? Moms, hello, yeah, hello. Alex is there. Yeah, man, me. Absolutely, right? Absolutely, okay. So let's take a look at this. Look at another one. Michelle Los Altos. Okay, so we've got a great GPA, a good ACT score. We have income. Dad is actually she's the sheriff's department. I want to say he's the sheriff, and mom is a part-time nurse. So we have some investments. We have some home equity. We applied to 17 colleges. And initial ESC was 66,000. We ended up dropping to 47,000. Now let me tell you about this. So Dad comes to me because he was referred over by another law enforcement person, his buddy. And he says, "Hey, Manny, I was referred to you by another buddy of mine, and you helped them get some money at colleges. I'd love to get some money too as well. How can you help me?" I said, "Okay, great." I said, "Let me show you how this works here. But at the same time, tell me where you want to go to college." So we want to stay in California. My daughter wants to become a nurse, and that's what we want to do. I said, "Well, okay, nursing in California, guys, if you don't know, is very, very impacted here in California. It's actually, you may still get into colleges here for nursing, but you also may be on a wait list too here. So it's actually better if you could go out of state." I said, "Look, let's go through this process. Let's apply here in California and to all these colleges that have nursing. And then at the same time, let's apply to a few colleges out of state and let's see how that goes. Because I think you're leaving some money on the table. Your daughter's a fantastic student, and I believe she could get a boatload of money elsewhere. But let's just apply to a variety of different colleges, okay?" So he said, "All right, let's do it." So we go through this process, and this is what happened. So we ended up getting into Villanova. Has anybody heard of Villanova in Pennsylvania? Tell me about anybody hear of the school? Man, Villanova's a good school, right? It's a really good school. You know, it's in my opinion, it's a tier 1 private school. Okay, so we got the St. Martin Porce Award. You guys, this is the free tuition for 4 years. This family makes over $200,000 a year. You may be saying to yourself, how in the heck does a family with over 200,000 plus income a year get a free ride? All on merit, right? So we got some loans. We got a student loan. We got a Villanova loan. You know, we at the end of the day, taking out all the loans, we're only paying $15,705. That's it to go to big bad boy Villanova. You guys, you can't even go to a state university in California for $15,000 a year. Tuition with books, fees, tuition, and fees is already $15,000 a year, and your kid has to stay home. You guys, we can go out of state, go to an awesome college for the same price. How many of you guys would like to have that opportunity? Raise your hand if you want that one. Okay, you'd be foolish again if you didn't. So let's take a look at another case here. Okay, Stephanie at Valley Christian, 3.4, 1480. So we have this average GPA, but the SAT scores are actually pretty good, right? And so good test taker, but we're an average student. So we applied to 15 colleges. Parents' income is $600,000. Like, you guys, we're not getting any financial aid at $600,000, right? But parents have investments. We have 1.1 million in taxable investments, $10 million in real estate holdings, 3 members of the family, 1 in college. So this is it. That's the only kid, right? And the initially is super high. We are not getting any financial aid. So 0 money in terms of financial aid. But because we applied, and Dad was hesitant. He says, "Manny, I make money. I don't know. Am I going to get any money? I just want to save some money. I could pay for college, but if you could show me a discount somewhere, I would love to have the opportunity." I said, "Okay, great. Let's do this." So we applied, and this is what happened. We ended up going to LMU. We got an $18,000 university grant. Okay, we got some loans, but on the back end, like the cost of college, like cost of attendance is we'll spend $74,000, right? But on the back end, with my team and their team, we put together a tax and financial game plan that resulted in tax savings of over $144,000 in tax savings, plus $72,000 of free money. Like, you guys, that is huge, huge for this family, and the family makes over $600,000 a year. So, you guys, there's other ways to kind of go about this if you understand, how this whole thing works. And so, the beauty about myself, you guys, and I'll disclose this, is that, yeah, I'm a college guy and understand college admissions, but I also have a financial background, and I have a whole team of financial people that are on my side, top CPAs, top financial people that create very, very unique financial game plans that can save you guys money either on taxes, because that is a problem for many families that make it high income. Okay, is that you guys have a very, very high income and you're paying so much money in taxes. So we create game plans around this whole thing to save you guys money in your college years. Okay, so that's a little bit different, and that's very, very unique approach to college planning than just most people that are out there that only do like college admissions, right? So, and show at St. Francis. St. Francis is a Catholic high school here in the Bay Area. So we got business pre-med major, 4.3 GPA, 1550, almost perfect score on the SAT. So we applied to 15 colleges. Our income is $1.6 million CEO. We have investments. We have, look at this, $30 million in real estate holdings. $30 million in real estate. You guys, we're not getting any financial aid at 1.6 million, and we're definitely not getting any financial aid at $30 million in real estate, right? So, he wasn't really concerned about financial aid. And I said, so why do you want to talk to me? Why do you want to work? What are you looking for? And he says, Manny, here's the thing I want. I want you to find my son a great college. Two, I don't want to pay full price for college, but if you could show me some discounts, I'd be grateful for that. But I could actually pay for college. I said, okay, great. He says, Manny, I really don't want my wife and my son to stress out about this process. And lastly, I just want a college with a little bit of panache. I want a great school with a brand name. If you could help me with those things that I want, then let's move forward. I said, okay, great, let's go. So we went through this process, and this is what happened for them. We ended up getting to Amherst. Has anybody heard of Amherst before? Anybody? Amherst is a tier 1 liberal arts college. Okay, anybody hear that one? Okay, there's colleges, the tier colleges that are like alternative schools to Ivy, like Bates, Colby, Middlebury, Connecticut College, Amherst, Boston College. In California, it's kind of like the Claremont colleges, right? Scripps, Spitzer, Pomona, Harvey Mudd. It's like those colleges, Occidental. These are all alternatives to Ivies. If you don't go to an Ivy League, you may also want to consider these colleges. So we got into Amherst, but also at the same time, we got to Cornell, Duke, Berkeley, San Diego, which is an awesome opportunity for this family, right? Like, who wouldn't want this opportunity to go to these fantastic colleges? And of course, they have money. They don't need financial aid. So, long story short, Amherst was the only college that gave us any money at all. Okay? So, Cornell, Duke, no money. UC Berkeley, UC San Diego were too big. He felt that those colleges at 30,000 plus students were too big for his son, and he wanted a smaller school. I said, okay, great. And Amherst was the only one that gave us money. So basically, he ended up calling up Amherst, and he says, you know what? I have a question about this financial aid award and this university grant. Can you please explain this to me? He says, well, yeah, this is a university grant. This is free money from our university. I said, okay, can you tell me about that? He said, yes. Like, is this a scholarship? They said, no, it's a university grant. Is this merit aid? They said, no. It's not a need-based award. They said, no, it's just free money from our college. Do you still want it? They said, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. So he calls me up. He says, Manny, did you, this is what they told me. What do you think about this? I said, yeah. I said, guess what happened, boss? He said, what happened? I said, you just got bought. The college is buying you as they're part of their future endowment fund because they think that, you will donate in the future, that you have millions and millions of dollars that at the end of the day, that you could donate some money to their cause, right? And that's why they're buying you up front. They're going to give you a discount up front in hopes that you're going to give them money in the future, okay? So, 2 things to consider: student position and parent positioning, right? You can do both and to maximize your money. And if you can do both, that's how you're going to get paid big time. So what did we learn today? We went through everything in the past hour, all right? We talked about testing and how things are changing there. We went through the myths that you think, oh, I make too much money, or I don't make money, right? I'm middle income. I told you about those case studies, you guys. In my case studies, you'll see like high income, low income, middle income. You guys, here's what you understand. There's a college for you guys somewhere, somehow, but you have to understand is to position yourself and your student to maximize everything, okay? So how can we help you guys? I can help you guys like take the stress away and manage this whole entire process. If you're looking at help you through the whole academic and admissions process, I can show you where the money is regardless of your income. I can show you what is the best way for you to fund college, even if you have very little money at all, okay? And still want to give your kids that opportunity. So here's a smart formula, you guys, for getting more money. One is stand out. Do something a little bit different in this process in order for you to stand out. Like make connections, talk to admissions, financial aid, heads of departments, apply for everything and do it early. Like R is resume. Resume is like building block and foundation for you guys to get admitted to that college. Like right now, if you're a sophomore, you guys, this is the time to really get started because we have time to build and formulate your student's resume. Like right now, as a sophomore, your kid hasn't been doing anything, right? Because of COVID, there is no volunteer stuff they're doing. We need to figure out what is a new game plan here moving forward for the next year, and how do we increase this resume, and so your students can get admitted to the universities of their dream. Okay, and testing, is testing still going to be around for you? Maybe yes, maybe no. But which test should we be taking? SAT, ACT, right? AP exams, Dante, CLEP exams. Which should we be doing? Okay, so this is what you should be looking at right now on this process. And I tell you, sophomore year is a great time for you. If you're a junior, it's not too late, but you got to get started now, right? You shouldn't be procrastinating any longer if you are a junior at this current moment. If you guys are a senior, I know I have some senior here. Okay, let me tell you how I can help you guys as well. Okay, so this is a financial aid award letter from Santa Clara University. If you see in the top right, we're getting over $39,000 financial aid. Of that, it's actually almost $35,000 is free money of grants. And this family from Hawaii makes over $200,000 a year there. Okay. Time passes fast because your babies are no longer babies anymore, right? You guys, your babies are going off to college here in the next year or two, right? For my high school seniors, they're going off to college here in the next 6 to 8 months. Okay, so you guys, what I tell you is, don't procrastinate. You guys have been thinking about college for such a long time. We need to figure out what is the best way to approach this, how to get your kids admitted, and so forth, right? So don't freak out. I know this is a lot of information for you guys, but here's got some good news and bad news. Good news is this, okay? I'm going to give you guys a free opportunity to talk with me, to speak about your case, and to see how I can help you guys. Okay. Some of you guys, after our free consultation, are going to want to look at how do we move forward and how does this work. Okay. So I'll tell you some qualifications that I have for me. Is students, you got to have at least a 3.25 GPA or greater. Families, you guys must be a friendly family, right? You guys like, I want to be able to work with you. I want you to be happy with me as well. And we have our personalities, and we gotta like each other, right? And so, the biggest thing is, don't give me a hard time. Be nice to me on our call, right? Okay. Parents and students, you gotta be motivated. Got to a 4-year college. Like, going to community college is fine, but you don't need me to go to community college. I can help you guys transfer. If you are going to community college, and transfer after a year or so to get you guys into a better university. And parents and students, you gotta be serious about your money, because guys, college is expensive. At least for one child, we're looking at $120,000 to $150,000 for college. And you guys want advice from a real college expert. I have 15 years of experience with over 5,000 admissions and financial aid awards. And parents and students, you don't want to procrastinate any longer in this process, okay? So you guys, who is this for? This is for parents who want to get their child admitted to the best colleges. This is for parents who want to save money on colleges regardless of your income. This is for parents who do not want to exhaust all your resources of college and who want to have more money in retirement. And this is for parents who want less stress and you want to save some time in this process. And this is for parents who want to have peace of mind, right? So if this is for you guys and this stuff resonates with you, then here's what I need to tell you to do, right? I'm going to give you this bonus here, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to book with me. So I'm going to give you a copy of my book that I talked about earlier. I'm going to give you these lists of colleges that are valued over $40,000, and I'm going to give you a free consultation with myself or my staff to discuss your case, okay? So here's what you do. I just put this in here. It's collegegamechanger.com, okay? You want to book a free consultation, you could do so now if you wish, okay? Here's what you do. You go to collegegamechanger.com, and you'll be able to put your name and email in there, and you'll get the book. But you also have to book your appointment to come and see me. So if you scroll down there on my page, you'll be able to see everything, and you'll also be able to look at my testimonials. You'll be able to look at the videos there. You'll be able to look at more information, but you can go there, right? You can also take a look at my website. So there's a lot of information right there already. But you can also take a look at my website. It's collegeplanningabc.com, right? You can take a look at me on Yelp. You can take a look at me on Google, right? Whatever you want, go look at me. You can take me on YouTube. Sure, go look at me there, right? No big deal. You can look me up, right? So there I am there. So you can look me up, you guys. I've been doing this for 15 years, so everything's gonna check out here. Like, who is this guy? Go ahead, look me up, right? Take a look at it. You can look at me on Facebook, right? Whatever, all that's there. Okay, take a look at all the information for you guys. So, you guys, I am done. I hope you guys. How many guys like this information? Was this good info for you guys? How many guys found this is valuable? Right? Okay, awesome, you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my chat. If you guys have questions, I'm going to stay on for a little bit here. Okay, but you guys have questions, I'm going to stay on for a few minutes. Go ahead and type it in the chat, and I will get back to you guys. Right? So I'll stay on for a few more minutes here. We're right at 7:30, so I finished right within the hour. So I'm going to stay on for a few minutes. So any questions that I can help you guys with, right? Anything at all? Questions. If no questions, then go ahead, go back to collegegamechanger.com, right? You could call, that's to call my staff. Yeah, you could do that. Or you can just go ahead and book, right? Go to the College Game Changer, right? And go ahead and book your appointment, okay? collegegamechanger.com. Okay, so go there. That's the best way to book if you want to do it right now. But you could definitely call, but you could actually call my main line too as well. So no big deal. 3066 is May, but 3066 is our main line. So either one, okay? So either one, but it's faster to book right now, right? So you don't have to talk to me. You can do it right now, okay? So let me see if there's anything else. Okay, there's some questions here. What kind of scholarship? Okay, green card. Okay, so if you are a green card holder, you can still get scholarships, guys. So yes, you can still get money. Not a problem. You will be fine. All right. Lisa, so is it too late? No. So what we do right now, Lisa, if you're looking at getting money right now and you're a high school senior, we have to make sure that, one, how can we get more money at this current point in time? We make sure is your FAFSA accurate, number one. Number two, do we have an appeal case, and can we find other colleges or look at your college list and see how we can maximize your financial aid based on your case, whether it be your merit aid or need-based financial aid from your colleges. So there is an appeal process, and there's competitive appeals, and there's really a few different types of appeals. There's an admissions appeal, okay? There's a special circumstance appeal, okay? And there's a competitive appeal. So based on your case, Lisa, I'll have to take a look at that, and we'll go from there, okay? Marcel, if you're looking to get a master's, okay, master's degree, it depends. There's going to be merit aid. There is going to be some, but a lot of the master's program, Marcel, it's better to go after merit because a lot of colleges are going to give you loans, right? So I don't know if you were able to take a GMAT or GRE yet. So we have to take a look at that. It's very, very similar, but there's actually less money in the master's program. The only thing you can find is merit aid. You can still get some money and you can get funding, but unfortunately for masters, unless you had a high GPA and you had a high test score, could you get a lot of scholarships? Okay, so we also have to take a look at the college selections. So I just had a student that got a free ride, for law school. Okay, so at Golden Gate University. So he got into Santa Clara, he got into the University of San Francisco, and he got into Golden Gate University for law school, and he ended up taking the free ride at Golden Gate University. So even though, yeah, USF and Santa Clara are better law schools, but he ended up taking the free ride at Golden Gate. Okay, So it really depends on the colleges you're applying to, and does it matter? So Marcel, that's another question we could talk about later as well. Okay, so that would probably be something that we could discuss. Um, okay, so Ginny, there's a lot of colleges used for comp sci. There's oodles, right? UC schools are good. You'll have Stanford, of course. USC is going to be there, like those of California. But Ginny, we could definitely talk about that on our call when you do a consult. So go ahead and book a consult. We talk about the different colleges that are available for computer science, and you really base. So there's two things, right? There's great colleges that are out there, like UT Austin, University of Washington, are also great schools. Georgia Tech is going to be good too as well. But does that fit you financially? Like, even those are great great academic programs, but do they offer you a great financial aid package, and does that matter to you? Okay. So anyway, that is what I would tell you, Ginny. So Ginny, go ahead and book an appointment to come and talk to me. Go ahead and go to collegegamechanger.com and we will chat. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna end it here. But you know what I would love to do? If you could be so kind, if you guys are open to helping me, would you be able to do like a Google review for me on my business, and a real quick one on college planning ABC? If you're gonna go to Google and put in college planning ABC and just, hey, tell me how you like my workshop, right? Um, Go there and say, hey, I like the workshop, highly informational, highly recommend. I'd appreciate it if you could help me with that. If you could do that, I'd really, really appreciate it if you could do that and you could help me with that. So if you could do that, or do a review on like Yelp or anything like that, a positive review, I'd appreciate it if you could. So anyway, you guys, thank you guys so much for being on the call today. I hope you guys got a lot of great information and content here. But I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on our free consultation. So go ahead and book on collegegamechanger.com. I look forward to seeing you guys on our meeting. Okay, guys. Hey, have a super fantastic evening. Please stay safe, and we will chat soon. Have a great night, guys. Good night.